and the final whistle blew. Coach Park Hang-seo's last match at My Din Stadium was a draw, with an unbelievable substitution situation and an unbelievable goal. Coach Park Hang-seo's last match as the captain of the Vietnamese team was a defeat in a final against a Thai opponent. Those traces have sealed an illustrious career of an ordinary person, but helped Vietnamese football create a brilliant golden period. Day Mr. Park meets Football Vietnam. Before Mr. Zhou Long, Zhuliang nodded to join Liu Bei's military group and launched Long Chung's countermeasures. He was just an ordinary farmer. No one knew him, neither the earth nor the heavens knew. However, that farmer had appeared in the world. The Tu Han dynasty divided the world into three, creating a fierce, tragic, heroic, and famous period of the three kingdoms. Mr. Park Hang-seo, in a small football aspect, has a similar position. When he appeared on the field of My Din to witness the Vietnam team under the interim coach My Duc Chung defeat the Cambodian opponent on September 5, 2017, no one knew who he was by imagining a doctor parking around My Din yard. Remember, Vietnamese football at that time was very vague on its way. Coach Hue Thang was fired after a very poor performance at the 29th SEA Games, and bright faces from Hoang An Gia Lai Furnace such as Kong Phuong, Xian Truong, Tuan An, have not yet dug up gold like the statement of the boss Don Nguyen Duc. And that team was placed in the hands of a small man. His head was bald, his interface was mediocre, his career background was also very ordinary, with nothing but information that was once a victim Lang. For legendary coach Gis Hiding to lead the Korean national team to the semi-finals of the 2002 World Cup. It was not a monumental appointment and met the expectations of Vietnamese fans. At that time, public opinion also said that it is better to let Mr. Chung Girl take charge of the team rather than entrust an Appa father to a nameless squire. There have been many generations of foreign coaches, from Brazil, England, Austria, Portugal, Germany, and Japan, not even a Korean man. Indeed, it is rare for the head coach of the Vietnamese team to encounter as many doubts as Mr. Park Hang-seo at such a greeting step. But it can't be blamed, because even a photo that proves that Mr. Park is good at coaching football in the past still makes Google unable to search. What hope? The Vietnamese sports press and football experts are completely ignorant of the new captain's football coaching ability. Even they do not understand which line or relationship introduced Mr. Park to Mr. Park Vietnam Football Federation. When he learned that the hooker was Mr. Don Nguyen Duc, many meaningful ah sounds were heard. But anyway, the rice is cooked into rice anyway, just don't know what kind of rice it is. Establishment in the land of Changzhou. Same U-23 Vietnam. In the slow-motion movie Going Back to the Past, the frames sparkled with bright smiles on young faces. In this frame, Bui Tien Dung flew like a bird, stopping unbelievable penalty kicks. In the other frame, Van Ton cheerfully performed a gesture to celebrate entering the National Assembly headquarters. Also, the image of Quang Hai in the snow is blurred like a tiger general, Tri U-2 Van, holding a silver spear calmly waiting for the great enemy, and then at the last moment, he drew a line of the ball to hit the top corner of the U-23 Uzbekistan goal. The light flash back, the audience saw two men errantly planting the Vietnamese flag on the snow, like an oath. Slowly drifting, suddenly the screen exploded with a sea of people cheering in red, covering Noi Bai Airport, on the heavenly road leading to the center. The sound of Truong's hip slyly answering the fans on the night of the victory celebration and the clinking of glasses at the midnight celebration party. The image of Coach Park Hang-seo was not prominent in those frames. But Mr. Park's mark is deeply imprinted in every footprint of U-23 Vietnam going to the final of U-23 Asia and the emotional runner-up title. The new identity of Vietnamese football began to take shape, confident, self-respecting, and proud. Mr. Park took over the Vietnamese football boat with quite favorable conditions. The manpower for that machine was trained by predecessor Toshiya Miura into warriors whose physical foundation was completely superior to that of previous generations. The fitness of Vietnamese players has met high intensity for 90 minutes, even 120 minutes. This is a revolution for which Mr. Park should be grateful. Without Mr. Miura, it is possible that Mr. Park would spend a lot of time on this, which cannot happen overnight, while the eyes on the field are only fixed on the achievement. Therefore, U23 Vietnam not only made home fans proud with victories over a much larger opponent from West Asia, but also stunned and amazed with a resilient and proactive performance. And full of energy for 120 minutes and then won with 11 penalty shootouts. In that army, Quang Hai emerged as a brain in the midfield, holding the staff of wisdom, launching clear passes or showing daring breakthroughs and stunning goals. Enemy. Since then, number 19 has become the new star of Vietnamese football. In that army, Du Man, Din Trong, Hung Dung, and Ngoc Hai stepped into the light one by one, forming the strongest defensive wall that Vietnamese football has ever had, becoming the foundation to rise to the top. Brilliant climax of the next 5 years. Although it is not possible to fight the best and win the championship in the first tournament, Coach Park Hang-seo and U23 Vietnam have created an effect that is more than a championship. Asia has begun to look at Vietnamese football with more respect. The flag that Du Man left in Changzhou is the milestone that opened the most glorious era for the country's football. Mr. Park has been battle Southeast Asia, but conquer every heart of Vietnam. Before Mr. Park Hang-seo arrived, Coach Kiatasuk Sanamuan of Thailand commented after Coach Miura's encounter with Vietnam team that Thai football is far ahead of Vietnamese football by about 10 years. It is a pain for Vietnamese fans because the chronic fear of Thai disease has originated since 1995. This disease stems from the fact that our football is inherently backward and less developed than Thai football. We reintegrated the region with a wild football, weak in both physicality and tactical sense, only slightly better in terms of individual technique. In addition, the desire for achievement has clouded reason, making every important match become a tremendous pressure for each player, each member of the BHL, each leader. Unfortunately, Vietnam Tel often meets Thailand in the finals and loses, from which arises the fear of Thailand disease. However, look at the match of Vietnam Tel at Thammasat Stadium on the evening of January 16, 2023, the last game of Coach Park Hang-seo. That disease has disappeared. Even though yesterday was not the best version of Vietnam Tel, Vietnamese players still competed at the same level. Before this match, Coach Park Hang-seo really turned the Vietnamese team into an obsession for the Thai people, a goal they needed to beat after declaring that they were no longer interested in the SEA Games or AFC Cup towards the Asian Cup or World Cup. That is because Thai football has lost to Mr. Park's teams for a long time, bitterly watching the challenger 10 years behind become the king of Southeast Asian football, winning the AFC Championship in turn. Cup, SEA Games, and then go the deepest in continental tournaments such as Asian Cup or World Cup qualifiers. While the Thai people are bitter, to the point of appointing and firing Japanese coach Akira Nishiro, who attended the World Cup, Mr. Park enjoys a beautiful life in Vietnam. He is more famous than all the Koreans that the Vietnamese have ever known, becoming Korea's cultural ambassador to Vietnam and becoming a beloved uncle of Vietnamese fans. With a bald head and a funny face, Coach Park Hang-seo looks as simple and friendly as an uncle in the countryside. The way he crosses his arms, frowns, listens, talks, drinks water, is full of simplicity and sincerity, not with the majestic, imposing demeanor of a football strategist. However, Mr. Park has done extraordinary things: runner-up at U23 Asia 2018, 4th place Asian Games 2018, won AFC Cup 2018, reached the quarter-finals of Asian Cup 2019, won men's soccer at SEA Games 2019. successfully defended the 2021 Men's Football Championship, and reached the final qualifying round of the 2022 World Cup qualifiers in Asia. Mr. Park loves the bowl of fish sauce during a meal in Vietnam. He said, "With that bowl of fish sauce, he can eat anything, anything is delicious." But he is also the bowl of dipping sauce that makes the Vietnamese vermicelli and spring rolls that he loves so much become more flavorful. Thanks to this bowl of sauce, Vietnamese football is fragrant, the players can display their talents. Now, Vietnam is Mr. Park's second home. He was given a very Vietnamese name by the online community, Uncle Dang Son, even recklessly naming the street. The uncle laughed when he heard these stories, a gentle laugh like when someone advised him to stop after the peak of 2018. He just said, "Vietnamese people are waiting for me." Yes, if you don't love this country, the people here, this football, how can Mr. Park say that? How can he humbly salute the Vietnamese flag so solemnly and always proudly clapping his hands to the Vietnamese flag on his left chest, hidden behind a Korean heart, like that? It's time to speak the word. Every story, every journey must come to an end, whether it is a happy ending or a sad ending. The silver medal of the AF Cup 2022 is the end of a love story lasting 5 years, from October 2017 to January 2023. Before this moment happened, both Vietnam and Asia knew that the AF Cup was Mr. Park's last mission as the head coach of Vietnam. Try is often lost, try is not humiliating. That is, knowing enough often leads to a happy life, knowing enough is not humiliating. Mr. Park's decision not to renew his contract with VFF is a wise commitment. The glory that can be achieved has also been achieved, the thirst for gold at the SEA Games and the AF Cup has been satisfied, the echo in the Continental Arena and the World Cup has also patted the chest and declared the name, the dream of conquering sea football has also been achieved. Done. So what more could you want? With the capacity of the current Vietnamese football platform, we cannot think of higher goals. Mr. Park knows that, and he also understands that, if he stays, it will hinder the renewal of a Vietnam team that is entering a boring rut, which has been clearly demonstrated through the AF Cup 2022 campaign. Unlike Zhujiang in the past, who still felt regret and held a grudge on Nguyen Truong Mound after 6 failed attempts to lead troops to KY Sun, Mr. beat Thailand to win the AF Cup. In order to do that, it is necessary to have all the elements of try and dung. He knows he is still welcome if he signs a new contract, but he wants to be more welcome outside of football for the sake of this football. He has brought inspiration to Vietnamese football, creating an incredible cycle of success, but he has also benefited greatly from it. From an ordinary football figure in Korea, he has glorified his country, becoming a cultural ambassador in the friendly relationship between Vietnam and Korea. The fever that spread from Mr. Park also turned his hometown of San Chong into a popular tourist destination. Who can do that? So, when the Lunar New Year is approaching, Mr. Park can leisurely go home, hug his wife and say, "Hey, from this new year, I'm no longer the coach of the Vietnam team." You can sit and help her make kimchi. Maybe he will retire completely, but he can also take a break for a while before reappearing in another national team, another club. But anyway, this is really a happy ending for all. The failure at the AF Cup 2022 randomly becomes an inspirational twist because the beauty of the unfinished business always seals a lot of regrets and nostalgia about that football match, that career and those people. That's why, let's give a round of applause to show our respect and sincere thanks to the little man who has repeatedly bowed his head to the Vietnamese flag and made it fly proud throughout the Asian arena. Thank you Coach Park Hang-seo, the simple but great Vietnamese football. Thank you for everything.